Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of RE083, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called At What Cost, written by LgFatherAnthrocite. Birgit was new to his support ship posting. He retired from active military duty, but was still relatively young for a Zitchki. He had decided to join one of the human support ships, as it was similar to his military duty and would allow him to continue to travel the stars and see new places. Support ships were a uniquely human thing, galactically speaking. All species had emergency response services, but only humans operated outside their home systems. Birgit had spent 30 cycles chasing rogue ships and pirates in the military, as he had thankfully lived in a relatively war-free time. He had enjoyed the camaraderie of the ship, as well as the travel to new and interesting locations. After retiring, he signed on to the Human Support Ship Service to provide aid to those who were suffering from natural disasters, pirate raids, or areas of armed conflict. Birgit was in the mess hall, just a few days out of port. He had collected a plate of vegetables and beef-flavored protein slabs, and found an empty table to sit at. He had started to chew on a fibrous root vegetable when a couple of humans came over from the line and sat down at the table.
"Hi, my name is Jones, and this is Davis. Mind if we sit here?"
The taller one asked. She indicated her short companion with a wave, as she sat her tray down. The shorter human, a male if Birgit was correct, also slid his tray onto the table with a nod. "By all means, I am Birgit. Pleased to make your acquaintance." The two humans sat in front of the trays and quickly started to eat. Birgit took another bite of his root and was chewing when Jones, around his mouth full of food, said, "So, you just sign up for support, or did you transfer from another ship?" Birgit swallowed his food and replied,
"I am new to HS3.
He used the common acronym for the Human Support Ship Service.
I retired from my homeworld's military. I just not yet wish to settle down."
He nibbled on a piece of protein, as Davis nodded approvingly, and Jones smiled and swallowed a mouthful of food. "Good to know. If there's any trouble, it's nice to know of someone who can shoot is close by," the tall brown-skinned woman replied, smiling broadly at Birgit before putting another forkful of pasta into her mouth. "Yeah, especially after the mess in Galvin," said Davis, a pink-skinned muscular human. "I thought I was going to lose another arm."
"What do you mean, another? You appear to have both upper limbs."
Birgit was a little confused. Well, we got good replacements," Davis said. He grabbed his left forearm with his right hand and twisted it a few times. Each twist revealed a little more of the metal band that went all the way around his arm. With the last twist, the whole forelimb popped off about 2 inches below the elbow. He flipped the now detached limb around a few times in his right hand, like a soldier doing a rifle drills, and then twisted on the opposite direction and reattached it.
"I see. This happened on a support mission?"
Birgit asked. "Yeah, happens all the time. Earthquakes and other natural disasters, lots of shifting land and semi-collapsible buildings. It's pretty common in HS3 staff. Jonesy here has 2 fake legs." Birgit looked back at the female human. She gave a quick nod and swallowed the food in her mouth and said,
"I stepped on a landmine and got missed while providing humanitarian aid to refugees in Kitmar conflict. I might have claimed my original replacements were a little too short." She grinned with a quick glance, winked at Davis, who chuckled as he poked at his salad. "When did this happen?"
Birgit asked, having set down his Blanche's eating utensil. His antennae were unnaturally still, but neither of his new companions had picked up on the Zitchki's behavioral change, being relatively unfamiliar with the giant Andike race. "I lost my arm a few months back," Davis said, sparing a tomato with his fork and then popping it into his mouth.
"I lost my legs about 3 years ago,"
Jones replied, twirling more pasta around a fork.
"Why do you ask?"
Birgit was unsure of how to respond. He had been in Zitchki space fleet for a long time and never suffered a single injury. He was a frontline infantry soldier and had personally led the charge on numerous boardings and raids. Personal armor and shields had saved his life and limbs more than once. The idea of losing a limb was not foreign to him. He had seen such things happen. What puzzled him was that the humans seemed almost proud of losing limbs. He told his new compatriots as much, and then asked,
"Why are you not bothered by the loss?"
Davis set down his fork, and Jones wiped her mouth with a napkin.
"Birgit, this is a support service ship. Everyone here is a volunteer. We get paid, but no one was conscripted. No one was forced to sign up. When I got into the field, I got in to help people. Human, Zitchki, Porfik, doesn't matter. We help people. And I don't think about how I lost my legs. I think about the small children of the refugee camp who were playing on the same field, who still have their legs. And I think of all the families who won't have to bury their young. I think about the people I helped.
Davis pulled a small photo from his wallet and handed it to Birgit. It was a small ferric teenager. She graduates primary education next month. She's going to be a doctor. I pulled her out of a collapsing building before the plasticrete slab shifted and caught my arm. She will spend the rest of her life healing the sick and injured. I saved her. I kept her alive. I did that.
You fought against pirates to keep people safe, to free slaves. You've made a difference in lives as well. You know that, right? Jones asked. I do take pride in my service to my people, Birgit confirmed. We do as well. We keep doing this because to not do it would be too much of a price to pay for our own safety, Jones said. The future of all the lives you saved, Birgit said, thinking he understood.
There's that, and it is definitely a huge motivator, said Davis as he tucked away his wallet, having replaced the photo. But it would also cost something else. It's kind of hard to explain, but look at it this way. Could you walk down the street of your hometown and walk past a collapsed Zitchki child without stopping to help or call for aid?
No, of course not, Birgit said.
Well, we don't want to see anyone suffer either. We have a word for it, but it doesn't translate properly. It means to do the right thing, even when it is potentially dangerous or threatening to do so.
The reason you do this, even to risk your life in them, because to not do so would cost you. I'm curious. What is this word? What would you lose?
Our humanity.
End of story.
I'd quickly like to thank the T5 peeps: Cold War Boomerwaffen, Severin Cerberus, Bushmaster 177, Henry the Red, Caspar Arnholtz, Cold War Boomerwaffen, Elijah Silvercross, Dragzoon WRE, and Severin Cerberus. Thank you very much.